Hey y'all, it's Adele. I'm back for another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes of one of our photo shoots. Say hello to Maria and Brisa.
Hi.
We're out here today on a beautiful day in Austin, Texas. Look at that sky. We're getting some great natural light, and so we're definitely going to take advantage of that. And we just did a little easy at-home garage photo studio setup. Anybody can do this and get some great content. We're doing a mixture of things today. We have professional headshots, a little bit of boudoir, and just some content for social media. So we'll take you behind the scenes as we behind the scenes of our shoot, I wanted to talk about both Maria and I get told a lot that we are very confident and we carry ourselves with confidence, and we want to talk about what that means to us and how that affects us when we take photos and when I'm shooting with people, and just how we have found our body confidence and how we have been able to be happy with ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you don't know from beginning of this video, this is Maria, my friend, and we're so excited to talk about this today.
Okay, so hi YouTube. My name's Maria. I actually have known Adele for about 2 years now, which is really crazy. We met at a photo shoot when we were both living in Houston. We are currently now in Austin, both of us. And you actually shot me when we did a campaign for Bronze Buns. So we immediately hit it off there with our creativity, and one of the things that we both really connected on was how we communicate the expectations of a shot and how you have to think about behind the camera how to prompt someone or what is their vision and how they feel comfortable. So one of my things was how do you find that you can better help people who are not behind the camera but in front of it?
Yeah. So for me, when I shoot with people, a lot of the people that I shoot with, it's their first time doing a photo shoot and they're super nervous, and immediately I find that they will start to tear themselves down. And, I'm not photogenic and I don't look good, or, I'm not feeling good about myself today. And I immediately want to turn that narrative around, because taking photos and doing a photo shoot should be fun. And that's my number one thing that I'd always tell people I want them to take away from the experience with me, is that this is fun and like you're beautiful and like we're here to showcase that and like bring out the things in you that everyone loves about you and you will love about yourself once you see it. And so a lot of times, like, I will say that the first few shots, they're not the winner shots. They're awkward, they're stiff, and people are going to be uncomfortable. But we take those first couple of shots and then I will show them the behind the camera and be like, look, like, you know, you're doing great. And they'll see that, like, okay, like, I need to loosen up a little bit, but they immediately have this switch that they do see that they do look good, and, you know, then they just more and more as the shoot progresses get more comfortable, and being able to see that through the photos, they get more and more confident. And I've had people like break down in tears because they had not ever felt like this way about themselves, and I just love that connection. But it does take guiding and giving people poses and things that like are going to showcase them the best, and, you know, maybe turn a little, things like that. And I've worked with other photographers that they don't do that, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah, I remember you told me that story, and that's exactly where I was like gonna like interrupt you, because I was like, I feel that as the person who is behind the camera, who is capturing that moment, you are right there in control of the vision that is being portrayed of this person or of this shoot, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to give feedback, as well as like even provide general ideas. Mm-hmm. Like, you always come with a mood board or a Pinterest board, you have screenshots, you show someone, you're like, okay, let's guide this, or let's turn this way, you know, this lighting works better here, or we need to, you know, loosen up your face. And I feel like part of that is because people have these, I hate to say it like that, but like sometimes unrealistic expectations that your photo shoot needs to look like something that's going to show up in Vogue. And it's not, though. Yeah. It's not. The reality of it is like, it doesn't need to look perfect, because even those photos out there are photoshopped. There is lighting, there is airbrush, and then like, you need to be able to just be comfortable with what is being captured in the moment.
And having realistic standards.
Yeah.
Because if you look at yourself and you're comparing yourself to this model that you saw on Instagram or in a magazine or whatever, like, that professional photo has gone through hours and hours of editing, and, you know, our mind tricks us into thinking like we want to look like that, we should look like that, when that's not realistic. And I actually stopped doing like editing when I do shoots, like besides like lighting, you know, contrast, things like that. But I do not like beautify photos anymore because I think it's so unrealistic, and I think it's honestly offensive, because I've known people that have done photo shoots with other photographers and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like she smoothed my face out so much I like don't even have a nose. And I'm like, girl, your nose looks great, why don't you smooth it away? Like, it's, you know, and I think that even then that person's tearing you down and like bringing out something that you might not have seen about yourself and now you don't like. And so I think like being behind a camera, you have such power of the situation and you're just needing to take control of it.
Yeah.
And it can be a very powerful moment, and it's moving, I guess. Yeah.
It is moving. I always find that, like, because I also love taking photos, and we've had that conversation before, but like, there is beauty in like being behind the camera because you are capturing the essence of that moment.
Yeah.
And it may not be perfect, but it's something that you have captured there and then and can never be recreated again. Mm-hmm. So like, you could try thousands of ways and it's never going to look exactly the same as it does in that moment. And so to take that moment and just like permanently capture it and say that you were there, you were present, these were the emotions that were provoked into that person, is so powerful. It's crazy.
Yeah. So next I wanted to talk about like how we were able to find our self-confidence and how other people react to our confidence, because it can really go two different ways. So Maria, you want to start on how you found like the confidence that you carry within yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it started being like a Hispanic woman brought up by a single Hispanic woman. Mm-hmm. So like, my mom, Shout out to mom. Every day she would drop me off at school. It was like really crazy to say this, but she would be like, girl, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Go have a great day. And so like to see that someone saw that in me so early on and like remind me of that would always be like really, like it would always make my heart glow, and I would like go and have an amazing day. But obviously growing up, you find yourself comparing yourself really to a lot of other women, and again, comparing yourself to beauty standards when you start reading beauty magazines, when you start getting into the fashion and the makeup industry, which are industries that are really fed off of your insecurities, even like the plastic surgery industry, which are huge. And if that's what you choose for yourself, by all means, go do it. The reason, or how I found my confidence really, was just knowing that like there is no one on this earth that looks exactly like me. And there's no one on this earth that carries themselves better than I do my own way.
Yeah.
Like no one can compare or equal that. And so basically just wearing things that I liked, finding what has suited me, finding the makeup that I liked, doing all that. And so knowing that no one could recreate that and wanting to play around with it. You know, we're all born naked the way that we are, looking the way that we do, but everything else is a costume. It's meant to be to have fun. How you do your hair, how you do your makeup, what you wear. And with social media, unfortunately, confidence is very much looked at as narcissism. And that is not true, I feel like, because confidence is knowing that I am who I am. And granted, we have our insecurities. Having insecurities is normal, but it's also realizing that you are so beautiful and you are who you are regardless of your insecurities. Mm-hmm. Narcissism is coming from a more like higher place where
narcissism to me, I feel like, is a insecurity like thing. Like I feel like people who are narcissistic are actually insecure.
You can be insecure, but most of the time your narcissism is project as everyone is below you because you are so holy and perfect, even though you may not think that of yourself, that everyone else is like beneath you. And so sometimes with social media, portraying yourself as a confident woman is like, oh, she's so into herself. But you can be into yourself that day and you can share that, and hopefully that inspires someone who, you know, may not be feeling so great or have some sort of insecurity that's beyond their control, like a disability or like something with their health, to be like, you know what, regardless of this, like I can share that too, or I can be confident in this way too. But it's not like
it's interesting that, you know, you bring up dress, like the way you dress is like a costume, and I definitely feel that for me, like finding confidence in what I wear, I think that honestly plays a huge role into like my self-confidence, because for me growing up, like maybe something wasn't right for my body type or whatever, but people in my family were always supportive of me, and I didn't think anything twice about it, like what I was wearing, if maybe it was not right for my body. And because of that, I've always grown up like wearing what I want to wear, and maybe my style is different or bold or whatever, and like I want to wear sneakers to the bar and not heels because that's what I'm comfortable in and that's what I feel good in, and I do not think twice about it anymore. And I definitely think that there was a period of my time where I was like, oh, like maybe I should dress this like certain way, like go with the trends, and now I'm like, why?
No, and you shouldn't. And I hate the concept of having to fall into trends, because the reality of it is you can be wearing something that's trendy, but if you don't like how you feel, you're not going to attract anything. Like the energy that you're putting out there is nothing of confidence or, you know, beauty, because if you are wearing something that's trendy just to wear it because it's trendy, but you don't feel beautiful, you're not going to glow or project energy the same way.
If you feel uncomfortable, you're going to look uncomfortable, and that's not going to show off your best self. But I definitely think my mom was always like very support, like, oh, you're beautiful, things like that. But for me, it was almost like too much to where, like you said, it's your parents. It's you don't hear it as much at that point. And so I feel like for me, it took like growing up and learning to truly love my body, because like I think that no matter what, like if you're treating your body right and you're doing the steps to live a healthy lifestyle, like that is where I feel that like my confidence comes from, because I know that like I am treating myself the way that I'm listening to my body and what it wants and what I want to do
and the
what
way
I
that
wear.
you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Because after a while, like you can hear all of these opinions or all of these, and often at times unsolicited compliments or feedbacks on how you look or what your makeup is or what you should be wearing or whatever it is. And the reality of it is all of that is muted if you don't.
Yeah, the way you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Because I definitely, I don't think there's anyone I've ever met that didn't grow up and hear something from someone negatively about their looks, whether acne or weight or, your height or anything. Like, there's, no matter what, everyone's heard something, and it's whether you take that and you're like, okay, whatever, like everyone has their insecurity, their thing, and you're just kind of projecting, versus like you really hone in on listening to this little thing that someone said and you really let it like get you down. And I mean, I know people who they hear this little thing and like years later they're letting it affect the way that they live their day-to-day life. Like, that's a little dramatic, but like it affects their confidence and the way they hold themselves. And I'm like, why? Like, you look in the mirror and you see what you want and like how you want to speak to yourself.
Yeah.
And you just need to like realize that like you are beautiful and everyone's different.
Yeah.
And there's no like set standard and beauty standards. I could go into a whole spiel.
Oh, about beauty standards? Absolutely, and so could I. But
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, it really just comes down to, you always hear that you should see yourself through the eyes as the person who loves you most, and really it should be you should see yourself through your own eyes, being the person that loves yourself the most.
Yeah, you should love yourself the most.
Exactly. Like if you pick yourself, if you choose yourself, if you talk to yourself well, if you listen to your body and you treat it with love, like that is where confidence comes from. And it's not an easy thing by any means or sense of the words, but life is so freaking short. Like, and the reality of it is most insecurities nowadays are things that are physical or like aesthetics,
Yeah.
And to me, that is, they are important and they are valid, but also realizing like how grateful we are to not have insecurities that are health related or due to disabilities or anything of that sort. But the reality of it is you are your own person, and you should just carry yourself with whatever throne or flow you want to, but like do it so that it radiates good energy and positivity. Because I feel like the people like that often just continue finding beauty in other individuals and will hype them up. Yes.
Bring it out in each other, because I feel like if you're going around and you're happy with yourself, you should be giving that to other people.
Yes.
And helping them realize like how to be happy and confident and love themselves, and like you're saying, hype them up. Like, if someone's feeling like in a down place and they're in a tough spot, like help bring them out of it, because the people you surround yourself with are so important. And I know that like hanging out with someone who also has like a similar mindset to me, it's very helpful, because like if I'm around other people who maybe are in a different mindset, it's gonna pull me back down. I don't know what that meow was.
That was me.
Oh, it's your parking.
Apparently park ATX meows. Sorry.
But, going back into our original question is like, how has like you being confident rubbed off on other people? Like, do you feel that it brings other people up around you?
I think it has, the older I've grown up with, and definitely having such a wide variety of friendships, because I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, went to school in Pennsylvania, lived in Houston before this. I've had made and have friends all over, not only the US, but in the Caribbean, some even in Europe, like, and I'm very fortunate for that. So with all of those friendships, I've definitely experienced everything. I've experienced people who will say, like, I love the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you carry yourself, and so I want to emulate that for myself.
Yeah.
And then I've also had friends who will be like, it just often feels like a competition, because you walk into the room and then it's like, we dissipate into the background because you carry yourself and you're so outgoing and bubbly, and like, that's just the way that I am. Or you're just like, you are so put together in the weirdest outfit, but you're just so happy in what you're wearing that it just really sticks out. And it can go either way, really, but how someone perceives my energy is not a reflection of how I'm carrying myself.
I love that.
It's a completely like a depiction of who they are and where they are in their life. And like, my main goal is always with my girlfriends or whoever is in my life, because I'm also a teacher, is to just lift them up.
Yeah.
Find the thing that like makes you happy. Go do it, and then if you need help or support, like, I will be there for you. But the reality of it is again, life is so short. Like, why would you be tearing people down? Like, we have enough of negativity out in the world.
100%.
We need to do better. And especially like our generation, who didn't experience the pressures of social media and everything that's happening in the world when we were younger. But as we were growing up into adult world, we literally had this whole new door opened to us in like the most crucial time, where you're figuring out who you are as an adult, with Instagram, with TikTok, with, you know, any YouTube even. It's you really have to just carry yourself in the best way, and I think that that's your responsibility to yourself.
Yeah, and I definitely think that for me, with my confidence, I often will get almost shocked that I'm so confident, and I'm like, should I not be? Like, that's
exactly what I was just thinking. Is like, so should you just not be?
Like, they're like, wow, you're so confident, and I'm like, wow, what?
Why, wow.
Shouldn't we all be?
Exactly.
But I do get like the people in my life who are older, and especially like women who I've met who have similar body types to me, and they'll say like they wish that when they were my age that they could have been like loved themselves as much and felt as confident, and like how they feel like it could have really totally changed their lives. And I definitely think that as time goes on, you know, beauty standards, body positivity, all of that is evolving, and we're growing up and we're realizing, like, you know, the old model body type, like, think that's not necessarily a model body type now. Like, we have models who are all shapes, sizes, colors, heights, everything. And because of that, I mean, I feel blessed that that's happening while I'm growing up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love that for how it's going to keep evolving for the younger and younger generations. But because of that, the confidence, like, I think I was able to find a lot of my confidence through seeing that, like, the world is evolving with that. But I still think that it's still shocking to some people, and I'm like...
But the reason it's evolving is because people are carrying themselves with confidence. Because if every single body type that's not the one that's projected on the cover of Vogue was insecure, the industry would be way bigger than it is. And you wouldn't have any brands that, you know, get a lot of pressure and hate to make clothes and, you know, make makeup for all skin tones, make clothes for all shapes and sizes. You have to. There's all types of bodies out there, and every single one of them is beautiful and worthy of confidence and love. Like, that's just the reality of it is there's not a single box that you need to fit yourself into. And I feel like the concept of that is what causes so many people to have so many insecurities.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have any cellulite, or no, you shouldn't really have short hair or thinning hair, or you really shouldn't have any acne, or your teeth shouldn't look like this, or you shouldn't have certain breast sizes, or don't have any cellulite. It's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works, because if you feel love within yourself,
it goes out to the world. So it's like, or to everyone around you. And I just think, like, literally from what I can pull from everything that we're saying right now is like the people around you and the energy that you give them and they give back to you is going to majorly affect everyone's lives. So it's like, go out into the world, go out into your friends, go out to dinner, everything, and like help others feel truly loved and confident and beautiful.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. Like, I would say that, speak to everyone as you would wish to be spoken to.
The golden rule.
Yeah, treat everyone how you wish to be treated. And the reality of it is even going back to that, like, treat yourself how you would want others to treat you. Because if you're constantly putting yourself down, if you're constantly comparing yourself to other people, that seeps into everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Confidence doesn't even have to be confidence in how you look. Confidence can be in the profession that you choose, in the music that you listen to, in the relationships and the friendships that you pick. Like, you should never have to be questioning yourself why you're doing the things that you're doing, why you're wearing the things that you're wearing, who it is that you're choosing to, or choose to surround yourself with. Because if you're insecure about yourself and those decisions, that is going to seep into every single thing that you do. In whatever role you're carrying, whether it's a professional, a friend, a partner, whatever, it's going to seep in there.
Yeah, I think just taking the time in your life, whether it's a weekend, a month, a year, to find that confidence is literally the biggest thing that you can do for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you go about your day just feeling beautiful and confident and giving that energy out into the world.
Yeah, we love you!
Bye.